Let's be honest, you should quit. And I think there are 3 signs really that'll show you that you need to quit. But before I tell you those, for me personally, that time I knew I needed to quit was when I first moved to New York City, 2006. And myself at that time, Ryan at that time, was I'm moving here to be an actor. That's my job. That's my job. That's the work. That's going to be the career. And I gave it my all for 2 years. To a lot of people who have made it, and famous actors, on stage, everything, 2 years is nothing. It's like a blip in time. And sometimes you have to spend 10 years. Sometimes you have to spend 20 years. Sometimes you spend your entire life and you never truly make it. But if you love the work, if you're passionate about it, that's okay. But I knew in the summer of 2008 that my goals had changed. And that was a big sign to me. Not that I hated standing in line and auditioning. Not that I hated not making any money at all and living in one of the most expensive cities in the world. Not that I hated having to piece things together to make my life work, right? It was that my goals had changed, and therefore it was time to evolve, not necessarily time to quit. And there's really only 3 reasons that I can think of that you should look for that tell you that it's actually time to quit. One is you truly, truly, truly hate the relationship, because you're quitting a relationship if you're quitting a job. You're not quitting the work, you're not quitting the job, because what you might do next could be the same exact job, because hey, that's now what you're qualified for, that's what your resume is. Maybe it's that relationship with that boyfriend or girlfriend, partner, and what you're gonna do most times is go get someone who looks just like that person, but is just a little bit different and maybe isn't so used to your shit, right? And that's gonna make you feel better, because you can punk them too. But if you truly hate the relationship that you're in, whether it's work or your partner, you truly hate and you wake up every day unhappy for a long period of time, then maybe it is time to quit. Move on and cut your losses. It's okay. If it's a mistake, you'll learn from it. 2, you've seen 0 traction and growth over an extended period of time. Literally, I have friends who have the same job for 10 years, which is great to work at the same company for 10 years, to build that type of loyalty. But if you're making the same amount of money, doing the same exact work, it's not you, it's them. And it's also not on the employer to tell you, hey, it's been 10 years. Do you want to change your role? They might have told you that already. It's only so many annual reviews you can go into where they're saying, hey, it's kind of been the same. But it's like anything. People want growth. If you're going to live to 100 years old, that's 1/10 of your life. And the chances that you live to 100 are like this high. You want to be able to show something for your time. What is the time versus win ratio, both in work and in life? You want to make sure that you are putting in your time, which you can never get back, into something that's actually going to give you something back. Whether it's love, respect, children, growth, that new home, that job, the resume has grown. You've shown growth over a period of time. If that's not happening, then it might be time to quit. Maybe that partner or that employer only sees you in that role. And they're never going to tell you, because you're doing the work for a certain price point and you're good for them. Time to quit. And 3, it's okay to have your goals shift. I decided in 2008 in the summer, that, you know what? I don't think my goal anymore is to be on the Broadway stage. I understand now what the work is to get there, and I'm now more educated. And even once I got there, is that the right thing for me personally? I want to build things. I want to do things. I want to do more than just that. And so my goals changed. And so I didn't think about it as, all right, I'm quitting acting and I'm going into real estate. I thought about it as I'm evolving from the Ryan who only wanted to be an actor to this new Ryan, this future Ryan. I have no idea what he's about. Let's go meet him. And so I think quitting is the wrong word. I think proper quitting is evolving. It's a personal evolution. I'm not quitting this job. I'm evolving as a human. I'm not quitting this relationship. I've realized that my goals for what I want in a relationship have changed, and I'm evolving as a person, which means it's time to move on from you. So before you just quit because you're unhappy with how Tuesday went, or the last couple weeks, or the first quarter of this year, which has been a shit show for most people anyway, really think about what signs you're seeing that show you that your next step is the right step for you. And maybe that is quitting, or maybe it's evolving. But I think there's a difference between why most people quit their jobs, or quit school, or quit relationships, versus really, really thinking through the process and what the repercussions are. and what the positives are. You should quit when you need to versus when you want to. Adults, like professionals, they make decisions based on their commitments, not based on how they feel. Are you kidding me? Like, I would have quit real estate 654 times if I made decisions based on how I feel every single day over the last 15 years. But then when those good days happen, thank God I didn't quit. Thank God I stuck through it. Just hating your job isn't a reason to quit your job. It's up to you as an adult to find the reasons why you can love the work you do. Now, if you're a janitor, if you're fucking shoveling shit somewhere, like, do you have to love that? No, but maybe that's a means to an end, and you love that work and that paycheck gets you to where you want to get to next. So maybe don't quit that type of work because it's going to get you where you want to get to. Most people end up quitting anything because of their own insecurities, the way they feel internally. Oftentimes because you still feel, no matter what, the grass is greener on the other side. It's like when we hire agents who've been at 5 firms in 5 years. Like, there's a 95% chance that this agent's gonna come, they're gonna be energized, they're gonna be excited for a year, maybe 2 years, and then, oh no, it's the firm. It's the firm. I'm like, all right, here you go. 6 firms in 6 or 7 years. I don't think it's us, I think it's you. It's the same way somebody who's dated 100 people, right? I don't think it's them, I think it's you. Or the person that shows up with a resume that has 10 different companies on it, right? And they're saying, look at my experience. I don't look at that resume as experience. I look at that resume as somebody who has a tough time handling commitment, who has a tough time building loyalty. That person has a tough time working, to be honest, because they're gonna be job hoppers. They're gonna be relationship hoppers over and over and over and over. I look at the resumes where somebody's had 1 or 2 jobs, you know? Not when you're 24 and you're jumping around from place to place and just trying to figure out what you want to do, that's fine. But later on in your life, if you show up with a resume that has job after job after job after job, and then you get upset that people aren't hiring you, it's because they know you're a job hopper. That's what you're gonna do. That quitting is actually part of your business plan. And that's not good for your employer. That's not good for your potential future spouse. It's not good for your friends. Oh, you're not a good enough friend to me anymore. I quit you. I'm gonna go find new friends. I don't think it's your friends. I think it's you. Now, there are times when you should quit. Like, I moved to New York City to do theater. I thought that that's what I wanted to do. That was my #1 business plan. I didn't know exactly what the end game was other than like superstardom, amazing awesomeness. And 2 years into it, I just wasn't happy anymore. I wasn't happy with the work. I wasn't happy with the job. The career was exciting, but the job was just ripping me apart. It wasn't fun to sit in line for 15 hours to get seen for something that I wasn't gonna get picked for anyway. And that's part of the job. You have to be okay doing that. You have to be okay doing that for 10 years, 20 years. You have to be okay doing absolutely nothing and just spending money and working that survival job to make it in New York City or to make it in LA or to make it anywhere. And if you're not okay doing that grunt work for what you think your end game's gonna be, then maybe it is time to quit. You still only have one life to live, so you should make it as awesome and happy as you possibly can. But if you're the type of person that's going from job to job, role to role, relationship to relationship, eventually you need to take a step back and look in the mirror and say, I don't think it's them, I actually think it's me. What am I running from? Most people quit jobs because they're running from something, not that they're running towards something. Well, this is a raw vlog. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, send this to friends. More thoughts could pour out of my brain at any minute, so let me know what you want to hear about in the comments.